Great.
Hi, Lynn. Good morning again. We spoke recently about Clear Action and your pretty extensive experience around customer experience. So today I thought we would really look at the skills piece. And you introduced the concept of the clienteer in the last conversation. And I'd really just like to get an idea of how broad you think that role needs to be in business for it to be most effective, and what the skills are that you see being involved in that.
Well, I think to be a clienteer in the way of being a catalyst in the company to champion customer experience as a holistic initiative for greater customer centricity and impact on the customer's experience, you need to have a holistic viewpoint. And I think systems thinking is the term that we might use for that, looking at processes end to end and the interactions there, and optimizing the whole rather than parts. Another thing is change management, identifying stakeholders and knowing what kinds of tools you can use to bring the stakeholders along the journey of customer experience. And I think as well, some quality tools like Pareto charts and fishbone diagrams to get at the root causes, Gantt charts to drive timeliness and accountability and so forth. Those are the key skills that I see being necessary.
Yeah, and the idea of, so you've obviously seen a lot of these projects in action. To what extent is it cross-functional and essentially cross-functional to be effective? Because if it shows up in marketing or sales or customer service, does that still work, or does it really need to be cross-functional?
I really think that a cross-functional team is essential, and having some cross-functional experience in the team, meaning that people have rotated into different types of functional areas or positions that use these different skills and tools within an individual is also important. You cannot really just say, hey, our customer-facing people, service and sales, are the ones that need these skills, and then everybody else, finance, HR, engineering, are excused from learning about the voice of the customer and being customer-centric and having these kinds of skills. That doesn't really work, because ultimately everything that the company does has a ripple effect that eventually hits the customer-facing employees, if not the customer themselves. So I'm a big proponent of really everybody in the whole company understanding their impact on customer experience and taking ownership for it.
Yeah, yeah. So you've obviously met a lot of, let's call them clienteers in business. What characterises the best examples of that?
Well, I think having a big picture mentality is really one of the biggest things, and really good people skills, because I think probably one of the setbacks in the early 90s was having too much of a quality orientation on customer experience, and perhaps that crippled or kind of gave people a bad taste in their mouth after a while, that it was perhaps sub-optimized to a quality orientation too much. Whereas what we're talking about is having a well-rounded skill set and capability.
Yeah, yeah. And we've spoken in the past about the idea of the hunter and the farmer in business. I think it's really important that revenue gets a little bit separated from the work of these people. Do you think that, where do you think revenue comes in and return on investment? Do you think that is clear, or do you think that's one of the issues in this space?
Revenue is important, and it is an issue. Revenue is really the reason why we take on a job, because we all have bills to pay. And in fact, revenue is not really where it all starts, though. We earn revenue as a byproduct of understanding customer needs better than the next guy and fulfilling those needs better than the next guy. So revenue needs to be viewed as an outcome of our primary work, which our primary work is to really align with what our customers are trying to get done and make it easiest for them to do that.
Mm-hmm. So, just to finish up on this segment of the interview, if I was a CEO and I was looking at customer centricity, what perhaps are a couple of tips that you would give me in either where to start or what to focus on in terms of shifting my business?
I think the very best thing that you can do is take whatever customer sentiment you have, whether it's from surveys or call center logs or complaints or sales and service call reports, whatever it may be, and channel the relevant streams of that information to every single corner of your company. And as those people become more aware of, wow, that's what they're saying about safety, or that's what they're saying about product or this or that, set up an accountability system where there's some kind of action plan taken on that data and a reporting into that central committee, whether it's the CEO or whatever framework you want to use, so that you have now people working on being customer focused. That's what customer centricity is.
Fantastic. Lynn, that's another great segment for the site. So thanks for your time, and we'll speak again soon. Thank you.
Thanks.